This peek that you do is fine because you have someone up sewers. If you didn't have someone up sewers, this is like one of the most commonly pre-fired angles once they come out here. And the way that this game works, with Peeker's advantage, you're gonna get roasted.
Boom. Roasted.
So this is actually a really important concept to learn about tactical shooters. And shooters online, video games online, we have lag. We have disparity of information being delivered to the server in a certain amount of time, be it like 50 ms or whatever it is. There is action time and reaction time. Action time is you deciding to peek and fight someone. Reaction time is you responding to said peek. Action time will always be faster than reaction time. This is the reason why peekers naturally have an advantage over the person holding the angle, over pretty much every single thing, regardless of peeker's advantage. So you already have an advantage if you're the peeker. Now, the reaction time is going to be worse holding an angle like this because the delivery of their information to the server is a certain amount of time, whether it be 50 ms or not. So you now get that relayed to you at a certain amount of ms. So what that means is, if this person swings out to you and they shoot 2 shots, by the time the second shot comes off, that's when you see them peek out. Now you combine that with action time, where they decide to swing out and they decide to be aggressive and they decide to fight. They're way faster than you can be holding an angle like this. And that's because you have chosen an angle that is an on angle. Common angles that people hold, therefore common angles that people will cross their place and swing out on and pre-fire. So you combine that as well, time is not on your side. There might have been times in lower ranks where you might have gotten some free kills because someone's not properly cross their placing or their mechanics are just a little bit off. But as soon as you start getting into those ascendant ranks, people start having these things down to muscle memory. And that's where holding angles like this is going to get you into big trouble.
Oh wait, can I ask you a question? Like,
yeah.
I wanted to fight A long. Like, what would like be like a better angle to hold?
Well, you can play from that angle. Key is don't hold the angle, actively moving in and out. The goal really is in an online environment is to get the opposing person to be exposed in the open and then you swing out on them, because then that's your action time versus their reaction time. So what you need to do is swing out into them once they're in the open, you win the fight then. Because now you're delivering information to their server, their view of the screen, and they have to wait for that information to be delivered. So if you hold, you're in a disadvantage. If you peek, you're in an advantage. Want to get coached? Join this Discord. We have free and paid coaching options. Can't wait to see you there. Enjoy the video. Okay, your dash leaves a little bit to be desired here. So when you're dashing or you're going to go for a fight, I want you to enable your dash when you're on an off angle that you cannot escape from. When you're on an on angle or an angle that you can escape from, as long as escape is possible, I want you to not pop dash if escape is possible. If it isn't possible, then you pop dash for it. We want to save that because dash can be so critical for retakes as well. So like if you have to go into C, for example, layering a cloudburst into backsite C and then dashing into said cloudburst creates so much space for your team to be able to retake this site. So you don't want to just willy-nilly drop it on the first potential frag. So watch what you do with this dash here. It's immediately dropped right here. They wouldn't have crossed their place there, and then your range is also covering this line, so it's not like you're under threat from the right-hand side either. So at this point, like if you just held here and you shot someone, you could still move away to the right. You can still dodge this and avoid it without having to invest that dash. Okay, so I'm gonna give you another little trick. This is another one that you can do for free kills. What you can do is you can walk up, crouch walk to the spot and hold the crouch there and aim towards the door. What this does, so this exact position right here, what this does is by the time when they come out, again, I'm gonna use the line, path to victory is through the eyes of the opponent, chat. Think about when you're moving to clear doors, what do you need to worry about at the beginning of the round? You have to worry about someone pushing out middle, okay? Especially if the window is smoked out or no one's going towards the window. So what ends up happening is the person will come out, and by the time they get to this exact point on this point where you're holding the wall, they will look this direction and look away from this gap, giving you a free kill. So it's a really cool like double peek multiple threat angle. They're walking through, la-di-da-di-da. They're holding here, they're looking this position. As soon as they open up the threat to this line where someone can peek out, they're looking over here as they're coming around. They're now exposed to this line on you. So it's a free kill for you at that point. Let's look at what you're doing here. So 1 minute 38 into the round. You're hearing A, you're hearing the dart going off here. What do you think? Be your own coach here. What would you do differently in the situation?
I'd probably take a quick peek, and then like after I whiff, I'd just dash out.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to commit.
Right there is when I start dashing, for sure.
Yeah.
You might as well take the shot because you already invested yourself in that position. So at this point, it's just like, what do we need to do to get any kind of value off the positioning right now? And this is what I would call overstaying our welcome. And this is something that you cannot afford to do on Haven, especially.
Yeah.
Right? Look at where your teammates are right now. They're in buttfuck nowhere. When it comes to actually retaking this space, it's going to take a little bit longer. So you're giving them a free plant right here. Free plants on A is nasty. Free plants when you're on defense is nasty in Haven altogether, just because it's like incredibly difficult to retake from CT unless you guys are planning on flanking. Easy protocol for you is when someone throws utility, I must respond utility in kind. That's something that you need to be thinking about as priority over fighting here. So the utility thrown at you was that dart. So you immediately throw your dash down. So your intention should be, I'm using this dash. I peek out, take my shot, I whiff my shot, I'm using this dash. I know how juicy this looks. So like, oh, is a kill here? Is a kill here?
Yeah.
I can be the hero. Could also be the hero by staying alive on site and allowing your team to move up and collapse on these guys. Living to fight another day on defense, very, very underrated. If you can live to fight another day on defense, it's great. If you're on offense, I do not mind you taking fights like this. Because if you die here, I like to think of it as like you're worth 2 points. You're worth your life and you're worth the position that you give up. This is a massive position considering they can basically go into free post plant at this point. Whereas if you killed them on offense, it's worth 1 point. So in reality, we're losing this 2-1 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 revealed. Nice. I'd wrap long here. Why would I go long? Why would I not go with Clove? No flank control. What else do I know?
Like everybody towards C.
Yeah, everyone's on site. Okay, so no flank control. Everyone's on site, so they have to go back and reposition themselves. What else? There's one more thing. Look at their ultimates.
Oh, Sova. Yeah.
Sova's going to be hindering the entire round from long. It's going to be really difficult to win the round from there. You're on eco. You have nothing to lose. Flank is the option here. You should be doing it 100% of the time here. If Sova's on site, he's just bad, right? And he's on site. But if you had gone towards long and they played smart, you had your chance to win there. These guys lost because they're bad, right? This was not anything that you did additional. They played it poorly. If you'd gone long, the same result would have happened, probably even easier. Okay, so let me explain to you why you're whiffing on it with an op. You're whiffing with an op because you're not sure of yourself. You're holding a line that you're not sure of. And it's shown through how you move. See this?
Yeah.
This back and forth thing. When you're opping, you take a position, you hold that line, and you stand still. You are so sure of yourself. You have to be. The move back and forth, the shift back and forth, is more of a rifle movement. It's not an op movement. We want to just pick a spot and hold it. Think about from their perspective, the angle that they're swinging here. How many angles do they have to worry about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe even in the middle of this. Maybe even in front of it on the ground. 6, 7. There's so many angles that they're peeking into. Plant yourself. Confidently hit this shot. Believe in yourself. There's nothing wrong with taking that shot. There's also nothing wrong with whiffing here either. You're playing the op like it's a rifle. The op is a post-up position control space weapon. It's the, I'm going to stay in here, I'm going to take this line, and I'm going to say you're not allowed to go C long at all. It's if I see nothing here, I'm going to take a shot and make them worry that I'm going to be there so they know that there was shots going on, and I'm going to go rotate and play somewhere else and catch them off guard. That's what the op's doing. It's not scoping in and walking in a close range fight trying to find something. All the fights that you're looking to take here, if one person swings you from the right hand side right now, you're a sad boy. Because if you whiff, you're cooked. Kind of like that. You're lucky because you have support right now, but I'm still a little worried that you might lose this round because you both are swinging, right? So when you're opping, you want the path of least resistance. You want to be wrapping far away. You want to be increasing the distance wherever you can. We're not looking to decrease. We're not looking to chase frags. We're looking to make our life easy and make their lives miserable. Cloudburst and dash. Good. That's better. Nice. Don't do it. You watch my TikToks,
yeah, I
right?
was thinking about it, yeah.
This is literally the bind TikTok that I had the other day that other people... it's unbelievable. I look at some of the comments on that TikTok and they're like, well, this coach will never coach someone to Radiant. By the way, I've got like 8 students got to Radiant from my coaching right now so far. But anyways, this coach will never coach someone to Radiant because they don't understand timings. Like, those TikTok commenters would tell you to run right through this smoke right now and just die because you can catch timing. It's like, the round's over, bro. Like, relax. You know what I mean?
Garage.
Don't give them any opportunity here.
I'm smoking 7.
2 in garage.
This is gonna be bad.
One more. Astra.
Okay. Why is this bad? Because you need to flick. Okay. The amount that you should be moving your crosshair is this radius. Okay. That's it. That's quite a bit longer in terms of radius right there. Okay. When you flick, it is inconsistent. A lot of students will come to me and say, Worthy, I'm inconsistent. It's because you take fights like this and you rely on flicks. Flicks are inconsistent. You can practice them till the cows come home. You are still going to have less consistency than you having them walk into your crosshair or micro adjusting this much. When you're doing a full half screen length right here, flick, it is going to be all over the place, right? You don't want to put yourself in a flick duel wherever possible. So utility was a major factor here. How you used your dash. Think of your dash like your Jedi lightsaber. It's your life. You want to keep it with you, right? As long as you can. Invest it later if you can. Only do it in an off angle where you cannot escape through traditional means. So if you're going to be aggressive with your op on a deep off angle or something like that, and you need to get out of that, that's a perfect time to pop that dash and get out, right? If you're in a spot where you can always escape, then it's a whole different can of worms, okay? If you can leave to the right or left. Does that make sense? What other takeaways do you have from today?
I need to be better with my positioning. I need to like identify and like look at the enemy comp, see if I can like flank or not. And then about what you said of like the hopping, like the dash on like an off angle and on angle, that was actually like a really good point. I never thought about it like that. Oh, and the opping too. When I'm like holding an angle with the op, I need to like be more confident in my ability to like hit the shot instead of like being like panicky.
Plant yourself. And if you find yourself moving back and forth, ask yourself, why am I afraid in this moment? That's a big point, right? If we're talking about mental, that's one of the bigger pieces. You know, what do I need to be feeling or what do I need to be thinking in order to feel this way? That's one of the big pieces, right? And a lot of times when you deconstruct that thought, you're like, well, based on my past, I've been shot in the face so many times holding this line. Well, maybe we don't hold this line anymore. And why are we getting shot holding that line? What is it that's happening there? Is it an on angle? Oh, if it's an on angle, maybe I don't hold that line. Maybe I change it up and attack it from a different angle altogether, right? Or play it from a different spot. Or shift over to the left or the right a little bit more. That's that analysis that comes from VOD reviewing. When you look back, you're like, I lost that fight really easily. Why was that? Oh, it's because they're swinging out and they're obviously having their cross placement there. So why don't I just move to the left next time? Now I do that and I win every single time.